Hi Taurus, Sun, Moon, Ascendant, or Venus. This is Dane, and I'm going to be doing something a little bit different. So we're going to be doing how to connect with our intuitive power. This is from August 16th to the 31st of this year, and we're going to be seeing what we need to do, what we need to focus on, and how we can enhance ourselves intuitively to embrace our intuitive, raising our energy vibration, our intuitive, instinctual, divine power within us. So if you are interested in this, keep watching. If you like this, give it a like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. But let me know what you think about this. It's new, and yeah, we're going to give it a shot. So if you're interested in any of the cards that I'm using, they are all listed and linked in the description box below. Let's clear the energy space, raising our own energy vibration, and releasing any negativity. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. Releasing all negativity from the body like storm clouds. Letting yourself feel calm, centered, and at peace as we enter into this safe and loving space. Now I want to apologize for my voice. I am getting over the flu, so do bear with me. Let's let the bowl sing as we see what the tarot has to say. Taurus, August 16th to the 31st, enhancing intuitive powers for Taurus. August 16th to the 31st, 2021 Taurus. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels. Enhancing our intuitive power for Taurus. August 16th to the 31st, 2021 Taurus. Enhancing our intuitive powers. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels. Enhancing our intuitive powers for Taurus. August 16th to the 31st, 2021 Taurus. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Enhancing our intuitive powers for Taurus. August 16th to the 31st, 2021 Taurus. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Fantastic. Now at the bottom is our rooted self. The middle is the left-hand side, there we go, is our inner self. The middle, our heart, our emotional self. The right-hand side, the public arena, the public self. So let's see what's going on. So we have the Death card, Scorpio energy. If we have Scorpio energy within our natal chart, that's going to be coming out quite profoundly, but it's also going to be rooting us. And then we have Aries energy, the Emperor. If we are born on the cusp with Aries, or if we have Aries within our natal chart, that's going to be coming up very powerfully as well. There's a sense here of a rebirth of power, a rebirth of understanding of self and desire and focus and what we want. And not everything is going to be as black and white as we want it to be. Taurus, as an earth sign energy, we kind of want things to be very, very clear, very spelled out, growing in one certain way or another. And this is going to be kind of very organic. This is going to be a very organic time for us. And the reason why we're doing this reading, to increase our intuitive power, is because it makes us better people. It makes the world a better place. It raises our energy vibration. It brings kindness and centeredness into the world. And that, I think that's just beautiful. So here we have this transformation going on in our inner self. We have the High Priestess, so definitely we are reaching this level of spiritual awakening during this time. The Nine of Wands, it's not going to be as easy for us as we would like it. We'd like it to be just super easy, kind of like slipping on a really comfortable pair of, hiking boots and being able just to go and walk for hours. This is going to be something that might leave a little bit of blisters here and there. It might not be as comfortable because we're listening to everybody else and we're not kind of listening to what we need to do. So it's like, instead of putting on the really comfortable hiking shoes, we're going to go hiking in these new pair of shoes, and it's not going to be as comfortable for us. So we do have to be mindful of that, listening to others instead of listening to ourselves. And then we have the Ace of Swords, and this is divinity handing us knowledge. It's cutting through so much doubt and fear and despair and sense of I can't. And this is going to be a time where we start to see clarity, and then yet like everybody else's words get in our way and we think, oh my gosh, this isn't clarity, this isn't what I thought it was going to be. And then there's this awakening again. So we kind of ping pong back and forth during this time. So do be mindful of that, because there are going to be some moments of just absolute clarity. You're going to think, wow, this is beautiful. But it's kind of like when you're recording something or when you're singing or something like that, and you did it really, really well. Like you sang the song that you wanted to record and you sang it beautifully, but you didn't press record and you thought the microphone was on. And you think, wow, I'm never going to sing it that well again. That's going to be these moments where you think, wow, I wish I could have recorded that. I wish I could have that, forever. It's never going to be as good again. And it's like, maybe it's not, maybe it is, but maybe this is just for you. And maybe there's a purpose to that. Then we have Temperance, which is Sagittarius energy. So if you have this within your natal chart, that's going to be quite powerful. And we have the Moon, which is Pisces energy. Again, if you have this within your natal chart. But the Heart is going to be astoundingly powerful during this time. Astoundingly powerful because it's all major arcana cards. The Root is major arcana cards, but the Root, we're only using a major arcana deck. That's why it's so tiny. And here we have balance and we have a facing of fears. So there's going to be emotionally balance coming as we're pushed out of our comfort zone, as we're facing fears, as doubts come up, as we are looking at things very differently. Then we have the Knight of Wands, which is fire sign energy, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, amplifying this Aries energy here at our root, the Sagittarius energy at our heart, and we have the Nine of Swords. This sense of, I'm moving forward, I'm passionate, I'm determined, with the Knight of Wands. Excuse me. The Nine of Swords is like, no, I can't. Doubts, nightmares coming in. We're just going to have a tendency in the public arena, in enacting what we want, of getting way too much in our own head and way too much in our own way. So we really have to be mindful of that during this time, because it's going to be very easy for ourselves to self-sabotage. And that's actually the last thing that we want. So let's look at, well, not like I say, it's actually the last thing that we want. Like, it's a surprise. Like, we usually want to self-sabotage ourselves, but this is a time that we want to see ourselves fly more than any other. This is going to be a time where we need to have that connection with our intuitive power, because it brings us this sense of worth, this sense of determination, this sense of focus that was like the missing key in all of this. You can be highly successful, and yet as you connect more and more with spirit, as you connect more and more with your intuitive power, you're going to feel successful. And that's going to be a game changer. That just really, really is. So let's look at the energy we have to be mindful of during this time. What is the energy that Taurus needs to be mindful of as they connect with their intuitive power? August 16th to the 31st, 2021, Taurus. Angels and spirit guides. So we have the Star. This is Aquarius energy, but this is also our dreams and our wishes coming forward. And we have to really be mindful that we're not letting kind of the fairy tale of what we want color how we are moving forward now. So our fairy tale can be like, all of a sudden, I have these powers, I'm able to throw the cards, I'm able to throw the runes, I'm able to, intuitively just absolutely understand everything. It all comes naturally and easy to me within a week, within a couple of days. We have to be kinder to ourselves, and we have to look at our dreams and say, okay, what's the reality of forging this dream? And I also have to take the word perfect just like completely off the table. It's not going to be perfect. This is going to be a time where you find yourself collecting, you find yourself gathering. If you are a note taker, this is a time where you want that notebook with you or that notes app on your phone right in front so you can click on it instantaneously and write down your notes, write down things that inspire you, write down, herbs that you use that bring calming, soothing energy into your life, things like that to move you forward. This is going to be that time. But looking at the dreams and letting the dream become bigger than the reality of what can be achieved, that's going to be something that we have to be mindful of during this time, because we all have that, and we all know what that is like, to have a dream that's so sacred to us, that's so beautiful to us, that we just need it to be perfect. And when we look at it, we're always going to see the fingerprints. We have to stop and we have to take perfect off the table. And that's going to be something during this time. If you just get one thing out of this whole entire reading, Spirit is saying that if you just take perfect off the table and you find balance within yourself, within the here and the now, in the moments that you are embracing and living in, that's going to be everything. So let's look at our chakra energy. Taurus. How can Taurus increase their intuitive power? August 16th to the 31st, 2021, Taurus. Angels and spirit guides show me clearly. And this is inspiration. This is the sacral chakra. I love the sacral chakra because it's the messiest of the chakras, because not only is it where our creative energy is held and our sexual energy is held, but excuse me, it's also where our drama from this life and past life is held. So this can really trip us up. But we have inspiration here. We have ourselves taking inspiration, not only from our creative energy, our sexual energy, but also from the trauma and the drama that we have been through, the hurts and the pains. There's a new dawn, there's a new day, and there's this steadiness to us here, Taurus, that's really quite beautiful. It's kind of like I've withstood storms. It's kind of like the steadiness of a mountain. The mountain gets chipped away over time. It gets formed by the wind, but the mountain stands. And the mountain stands with strength and determination, focus and purpose. And that's going to be us. Yes, we've been chipped away. Yes, we've been shaped by the winds. But we still stand stronger than we even realize. And that's going to be something that's inspiring to us. That's going to be a new dawn and a new day and a new purpose, to embrace that power, to say, I still stand, and I still stand for a reason. I don't stand because of a mistake. I'm not a mistake. And it moves us to the death card, a dying way of the old self, a rebirth of the new. It moves us to a place where we might feel a bit raw, a bit exposed, because we have transformed. And we don't know what to do with this new stage in our life, with this new transformation, with this new place that we are now embodying. But we are being told here there's nothing to do with it except to embrace where we stand and why we stand here, to embrace who we are, and to call back joy, to call back laughter, to call back happiness. And why that's important. And you might say, Dane, I have happiness and joy within my life, then keep on calling it forward. Because human beings, just natural human beings, we cannot have joy when we feel stressed out. We can't. We are not able to play. We're not able to laugh. We're not able to fully release when we're in this fight or flight mode. And we're transforming to be out of this fight or flight mode. But we've been in there for so long. We've been in the kind of be on your guard. And it's hard to release. And it leads us to the Emperor. It leads us to claiming our throne, but also claiming our battles, knowing what we stand for and what we want. And also knowing when it's time to let things go, when things are just silly and they won't mean anything a week from now or, 5 weeks from now. We stand within our power. We claim our power, because this is not a time for us to be led by anybody. We need to embrace who we are, what we want, and the way that we desire moving forward. And this is a time where we start to see ourselves openly, honestly, and passionately. With the Emperor, we're finding our footing again. We're claiming a throne, and it almost feels like the throne was lost. It's kind of like the hidden Emperor. I'm just kind of seeing almost like Moses in a basket. And I know Moses wasn't an emperor, but it's very much like that hidden power that comes forward, that gets to be a force of powerful and influential change. And that's what we're stepping into. That's the role that we're embracing here. And we're claiming this for ourselves. And remember, Aries is the god of war. And the god of war in ancient Greek mythology, is, well, the god of battles and war and hurts and pains. But he is also the God that has these changes come forward. And that's going to be what we see here. It's like through the ashes, through the hurts, through the pains comes victory, comes wisdom, comes greater understanding. And it moves us to the Ace of Swords. This is where God's Source Spirit, however we see the divine, the universe, cuts through our doubts and our fears, helps us embrace our mind and what we want and where we want to stand. And all of a sudden, in our inner selves, if we let ourselves step back, things are becoming clearer. And we have to stand out of the realm of chaos. It's going to be so easy to kind of fall into that realm of chaos, to think that, constant movement or, constant upheaval is going to be the change that we want. But Spirit is saying, no, it's something much more concise. It's something much more focused. We're cutting through a lot of despairs and hurts and negligence, and we're starting to claim the throne. We're putting the crown upon our heads, and we're moving ourselves forward in tenacity and in greater understanding and in opening up of our minds and what we desire. And so the Ace of Swords comes in, and it's this wind. It's this wind that buffets against us. It's this clarity that comes. The cobwebs are pushed away, and all of a sudden we start to see, and it's like, oh, this is my voice. This is my power. This is my instinct. This is what I desire. Writing things down is going to be something that's brilliant for us, but also just embracing words, embracing the rhythm of words, listening to things, music, excuse me, during this time is going to be something that really we get a lot of inspiration from. And it's going to be upbeat music. So even if you like the beat of a music, if it has really kind of negative words to it, don't listen to it. This is going to be a time where the words are everything. It's kind of like with stories. We want to build ourselves up instead of moving down a hole, because we're going to find with the Nine of Wands, we're very much influenced by other people's opinions. We're going to stand our ground. Yes, we have that warrior mentality within us, but we have to be mindful. We have to be mindful of everything that we're standing against. Everything that's kind of coming at us, everything that's overwhelming us, because we can find that our body starts to ache, that our head starts to hurt, because we're trying to take in too much, and we're trying to please too many people, and we're forgetting that this life is about us. It's not about everybody else. It's about us. And I know that sounds incredibly selfish, but it's not. It's saying I matter. I'm the main player in this whole entire game. This is my story. It is the life of me. And this is my book. And it's not about how I can sacrifice me for everybody else. It's how I can reach my full potential. How can I embrace my goals and my desires and my passions and my wants and my needs? And how do I get to be the person that I want to be? And how do I get to claim that, embrace that, and embody it? And at times we are going to have headaches. We are going to feel a bit stiff. We're going to be like, oh my gosh, why? Why is this so difficult? And we have to just step back, because we're taking on everybody else's energy. We're going to do it subconsciously. We're just going to take on everybody else's energy. We're going to be a little bit sensitive during this time. We're going to be very much wanting to keep everything calm and steady and peaceful. But we're going to need to know that it's not our job. And that's going to be something that we need to release. It's like I release having to carry for others. I carry for me. And I know that sounds odd to say, but so often we find ourselves just loading up on what everybody else's needs are, loading up on what needs to be done, and having this kind of like desperate energy of, well, can I just make this person happy? Or can I just make everything smooth and right? And the answer is, we can't make everything right for everybody. We need to just make things right for us. And that leads us to the High Priestess. That leads us to the veil being lifted from our eyes. So many things are going to become clear during this time, and we might not actually be ready for the revelation. So do be mindful of that. It depends on where we are in this spiritual journey, whether we really want to hear everything that the High Priestess has to say to us. So being able to embrace our hearts, being able to see things openly and honestly and powerfully, that's going to be really important. The High Priestess has the veil lifted from her eyes, not only with herself, but with the people around her. So we're going to start to see people for who they truly are. We're going to start to see ourselves for who we truly are, what we truly want, what we're truly developing, where we truly want to be. And there's going to be this level of change, this level of transformation that really comes forward that is startling. It's going to be startling. The way that we can let intuitive power in, the way that we can start to embrace ourself and our desires and our hopes and our dreams and our wishes. And it brings us to this place where, we go from one major arcana card to the next major arcana card, and that's temperance. That's finding the balance. Now, this would be a fantastic time, like if you are looking for increasing your intuitive power through using the tarot, through using runes, through, herbs, through whatever. This would be the time to start to really practice, to really let the balance come in, to see how the cards feel in your hands, to see how the wind speaks to you, to see how, plants grow under your fingers, like, grow with your care and your touch, how the runes call to you. This is going to be that time to find that balance as the veil is lifted, as things kind of reveal their magic a little bit more, a spark, an inspiration and an understanding. And so here we have temperance, we have balance coming in, we have ourselves starting to spread our wings, we have ourselves looking at the subconscious and the conscious self and being able to find harmony within us. We're looking at what brings my heart peace, not what do I have to do, but what brings my heart peace, and what is it that I'm working towards that leads me into chaos, that makes me overwhelmed, that has me doubting myself. And so here we start to look at balance, and we start to look at what has us out of balance and what we need to be in balance. And that becomes a very powerful thing. And so as we start to look at balance in a really real way, not in a, I can be a little chaotic sometimes, or I can doubt myself or whatever, but really looking at, what foods make my body feel in balance, what drinks make my body feel in balance, what exercises, what is it that I'm doing that makes me feel in balance with myself, and what am I doing that makes me feel completely out of balance with myself, and taking that seriously, not thinking, I'm just being a hypochondriac, or I'm just making up stories. There is so much pain in this world, and people suffer from chronic pain, chronic illnesses that other people just poo-poo, they can't get answers for. But if we start to look at our bodies, we start to really pay attention to what we're eating, to what we're drinking, to our environment, to our stress, we can start to find balance within us that is extraordinary, that changes the game, that starts to lead us forward in a way that we hadn't expected. And that leads us to facing a lot of our fears. That leads us to looking in at the shadows, to saying, I'm not beaten down. I'm not done yet. And so as we face our fears, we get empowered, we get emboldened, we start to see ourselves openly and honestly in a way that we hadn't seen ourselves before. But during this time, as we find this balance, as we find this harmony, it has us facing fears. It has us, it has kind of bringing up nightmares, bringing up doubts, bringing up, the worst case scenarios, and saying, can you face it? Can you see it? Excuse me. And the answer is, during this time, if I can see it and I can walk through that fire, nothing will be able to stop me. And then it moves us to then being able to see the beautiful healing power of the moon, the beautiful healing power of the reflection of the sun, of the quiet brilliance that shines within us. And it brings us to being warriors. It brings us to being, in the public arena, warriors of our passion, warriors of our desire. We're going to see ourselves get super, super, super excited. And then we're going to see ourselves knock ourselves down. So we're going to be, at times, our own worst enemy during this time. We're going to get too much in our own heads. We're going to let other people's words, other people's wants, other people's needs trump our own. And this is going to be a time where that's our main battle. That is our main battle. To see ourselves clearly and openly and honestly and passionately and say, I stand here. I stand here to shine. I stand here to let my energy vibration rise and rise and rise, so that I do not have to be, a billionaire. I do not have to be, this person that everybody oohs and ahs over. But I am the person that when I enter a room, people's heads turn, because my energy is so high, is so, not that manic, kind of look at me high, but so centered within myself, so in love with my life, so beautiful, that is what people spend billions of dollars trying to seek out. and never get to. And I found it because I found me. Along the way, I found myself. And it doesn't matter how quirky that is. It doesn't matter how corny that sounds, but I found me. And I let my passion, I let my power, I let my brilliance shine. And every single fear that we have, every single nightmare, every single doubt, it's time to look at it and say, you're not taking this from me. You're not robbing me of something so sacredly beautiful as to be my purpose here on earth. It moves us to our subconscious energy to be mindful of, and that's the Queen of Swords. We have to be mindful of being way too much in our own heads. This is air sign energy, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. We have to be mindful of words being twisted against us. You know, what is it? Used by, twisted like knives to make a trap for fools. I think that's from Kipling. And so here, yes, that's from Kipling. So here, it's like, don't be shot down by fools. And don't go into the wind. Don't go into what we fear the most. That buffets us, that, kind of rips away bits and pieces of us at times. So strongly. Like, don't go into the storm without any protection. Because we're going to think, I got this figured out. And we're going to find that, if once we open that box, it's kind of like Pandora's box. When we close it, the only thing that's left is hope. Like, once we close it, once we have seen everything, it's hard to unsee. It's hard to step back. So brace yourself. Be mindful of the way that you are embracing your inspiration and you are taking on the words of others, but also taking on the words the Spirit is telling you. Go slowly. Go slowly. Walk carefully. Carry a big stick. Our subconscious chakra message is truth. Speak your truth. And I know people say, I hate that, speaking your truth. Everybody speaks their truth because that's the only thing that we see. We only know the way that we interpret something. So with the throat chakra, speaking our truth, going after what we desire, going after what we want and what we need, that is so important. And being able to say it, being able to say, this is what I want in my life. This is something that's sacredly important to me. This is what I need. This is valuable to me. That becomes a game changer. Let us change the game by speaking truth where others speak lies, by bringing brightness where others bring darkness. And it brings us to our subconscious. Meditate on your throat chakra. Seriously, on your sacral chakra, on your throat chakra, but see the vibration of the blue energy just from your throat chakra radiating outward. See the power of your voice building and building and building, because it's a beautiful thing and it's a resonant thing. And with earth sign energies, with resonance, that's so powerful. That's why music is going to be so important for you. And it's going to be the resonance, the beat, the melody, kind of like classical music. If you don't like classical music, something like jazz or something like with a really good beat, with a really good, brilliant bass to it to move you forward. That's going to be really important to meditate to just have on in the background. Our subconscious rooted message is the Chariot. Now this is, of course, Cancer energy, but this is flying above limitations. This is flying above the clouds, what obscures our vision, and being able to see clearly. And as we rise, that's what we're going to be doing. That's what's going to be rooting us. It's like I'm rising above the hurts, the pains, the toxicity, the doubts, the fears. And it brings us to our subconscious inner self, which is the Queen of Swords. So we're told to be mindful of the Queen of Swords, but we're also embracing the power of the Queen of Swords, the warrior queen. The fact that we're cutting through doubts and fears, the fact that we're taking this gift, this sacred gift from divinity, and it's a game changer for us. And we're pushing ourselves forward. We're not standing back meek and quiet. The Queen of Swords is the queen that embodies the most sacred masculine energy. And so that's why sometimes she's seen as being a bit of a bully or a bit of a brute. She's not. If she embraces the sacred masculine energy correctly, she is powerful and unstoppable. And that's what we're being told here. If we have that combination of sacred feminine and sacred masculine energy embrace, if we cut through the lies and the hurts and the pains that we hold, and we speak our truth, we embrace our knowledge, we can be unstoppable. We really can. It moves us to our subconscious emotional self. And that's the Four of Swords, giving honor to all the pain that we've been through. It's not just like buck it up and keep on going. It's saying, I give honor to my hurt. And I love this because the swords, the weapons, become the wind chimes, become what we listen to as we sit on our porch, sipping lemonade. So here, let ourselves look at the way our wounds manipulate the songs that we hear, manipulate the way that we hear life, the way that we see life. Give honor to what you've been through. And let that pain end there. Our subconscious inner self, a public self, is the Page of Pentacles. It's us being a student of our prosperity. It's saying that, yes, being a queen, major arcana cards, those are great. But in the end, we are a student. We're a student of the seeds that we're planting. We're a student of the prosperity that we're growing. We're a student of what we desire and want and need and long for. Embrace being a student. Embrace the questions. Embrace the discovery. Subconsciously, let yourself learn and let yourself embrace the wonderment. And as a child, let yourself embrace play. The freedom and the safety that comes when one is allowed to play. One is allowed to laugh. One is allowed to embrace joy. Because we cannot play. Human beings cannot fully play and laugh and feel jubilant if they do not feel safe. All right, Taurus. I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I'm sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all and stay safe. Let's end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a raising of our positive energy as we embrace our intuitive power and as we let nothing stand in our way. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and in harmony, Taurus.